So imagine an area with no social security, no unemployment, no need for government subsidies like that, even no welfare system. It's an idea that a guy Jerry Yang has talked about a whole bunch called universal basic income. It's a really interesting concept, and I'm going to talk about that today a little bit different than my normal videos. I'm here in DC. It has me thinking a lot about all this stuff. So stick around and we'll get into it. Hello, my YouTube friends. I hope you're all doing well. Today is Sunday, March 10th, my sister's birthday to some degree. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday and they've had a good weekend. I'm here in DC for my son's spring break. We've come with my in laws, my wife. Pretty cool, and it has me thinking about a whole bunch of different concepts. One is this universal basic income. I heard Michael Bordenero talk about it today a bit, and has my brain going again because I've always thought it's an interesting concept. But before I get into it, do me a favor if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. You guys know that's how YouTube's algorithm works. And if you've been finding the content interesting, I really appreciate the support. Helps other people find it as well. And as I've watched the channel grow, it's been really cool to see that. So, what is universal basic income and how does it work? I've heard a few people talk about it. I think that we haven't gotten a good sample size to see if it really works, but the concept behind it is as an American, you receive a paycheck of sorts. Um, I have my idea of how much it should be. I know others think differently or a little more or a little bit less, but you get a monthly income just to be an American. It has no income barriers, it has no nothing else, just an age restriction. It's for people in what I understand 18 and over. But the way to fund it is no more social programs, no social security, no unemployment, no welfare systems, no free college, no minimum wage, even, because the idea is you're already receiving a minimum wage. So if somebody wants to hire a job that only pays $5 an hour, you don't have to take it because you should have money to pay the bills. Now, will it work? I don't know. Is it a good concept? Has my brain spin? Because I don't know if it works just like COVID, where it would cause inflation. And I don't know if it would work where people could actually manage their savings a bit better. But if it uses the money in these programs that we can mostly agree, I would like to say all, but I'm sure not everybody agrees, don't work so well. And people have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops and get rid of those expenses and put it all into something that you just receive money as an American, maybe it works out. And it wouldn't be such an exorbitant income that you can live just high on the hog, but it should be fair enough that people could get by or close to get by. And if you choose to work to get ahead, well, you can make that choice to do that and get ahead. And I think people who want to and are driven are going to do that anyway. You'll still have people who have problems, who can't manage their budgets and whatever else. But I think the thought process is they're always going to have monthly income coming in. And if they can't control their budgets, well, I guess that's on them. Whereas everybody else, it helps them sustain a life. It gets rid of this unfair of I can't survive and whatever else. The main concern I would have is, does it just cause new inflation? If you gave everybody $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, does that just raise the price of rents and everything else? But I like the idea that if there's no minimum wage now, because I don't have it anymore. I'm not in the restaurant business. This is not my thoughts of how my restaurant should be. This is just my thought after being a guy who owned it. I used to have this discussion with one of the employees there. I never understood why I couldn't hire some high school kid to just sweep floors and fold boxes for $5 an hour because they had a minimum wage of $10 or $12 an hour. You couldn't afford to give some kid a job because it was unaffordable at the minimum wage rate. And then you're forced to push employees to do more than really they should be required to do because the wages don't, you can only charge so much for a pizza or for whatever it is that you're trying to sell. And if the wages are too high, you need to force people to have too hard a job to be realistic for what they need to do. You find some superstars, and in some ways they're underpaid. But then you find some people that just show up, which is good. You need those people, but they're getting overpaid for the job. If there was some universal basic income to balance it out, well, there's no reason you couldn't hire some kid to fold some boxes and sweep some floors and not worry if they just showed up and folded boxes, maybe swept the floors from time to time because it would be inexpensive enough. You could have a whole bunch of people working at the restaurant doing every single job to help out and make it run better. I think it could have some good solutions. Thing is, it might not go the way as expected, and maybe it just causes inflation, and it's a big problem. Really, until you try it out and get into it, it's too late because you can't undo it. I don't know how you'd get a sample size to figure out if it would work or not. Again, I know this isn't my normal topics. Usually I'd pick a couple stocks, especially on a Sunday, talk about some ones that I think are a good buy. I'm just here in our nation's capital, so it has me thinking about all the politics stuff. And when I heard the other video, that was kind of on my mind. And the reality is, with all the money that we spend in Social Security and all the other social services and unemployment and everything else like that, I imagine the budget's probably there to come up with a number that everybody could get paid. And I know it seems silly that everybody, no matter what their income should get it, but they really should. Even if it's Jeff Bezos or anybody else, whatever that universal basic income is, it should be distributed to anybody who's an American. I think that even solves some of the problems with the illegals that come over because they wouldn't receive it, or even some of the ones that are just visiting. It would be made for Americans to be able to get a certain amount of money to survive their life. And hopefully that would attract people that could afford to live here instead of those that are getting away for whatever things they're trying to get away with. Anyway, again, don't forget, subscribe, like, have a great weekend, and hopefully I find time to do more videos. I'm just, we'll see. I thought I'd be able to do it in front of like the Washington Monument and things like that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Have a great day. Bye bye.